The response has been amazing, and the reason why it's so amazing is because we did keep it a secret, and we were really successful in tricking everyone. and I think everyone's happy because of that, and it's a huge cliffhanger. Elena's a vampire now.
Well, to be quite honest, I'm good at keeping secrets. It was kind of hinted to me early on in the season that might happen, so I wasn't entirely shocked. It's going to be interesting, and then I think a lot of the season, and I think, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I think a lot of it is going to be about trying to figure out a way to reverse that. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what the what season 4 is going to entail. I really don't, but I'm not sure if Elena's going to be a vampire for 6 seasons, 7 seasons. Like, I don't know. Maybe she will. I think a lot of it too depends on like if it's working. Like, if it's becoming redundant and we're all vampires, and people are like, well, now it's boring, then I'm sure they'll fix that and get rid of it. So I think it's just a matter of what works, you know?
Well, when I first heard, actually, Ian was the one that told me while we were shooting the finale. We were in a storage unit. They put our chairs, our holding area, in an actual storage unit. So he was talking to me about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you know she's turning." I was like, I thought that it was like, wow, but I realized, you know what? It's been 3 seasons, and it makes sense, and it's a great way to go into the next season, and it's huge. It's huge. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see. I think that's been, that we're starting to now finally get an opportunity to see the full transformation again. I think Caroline was one of the first times we saw a character turn into a vampire and really get to explore her transformation. And even though we've gotten hints of that since that, I think that this is going to be a great opportunity to see how is Elena going to cope. You know, how is she going to handle it? And now with all of her friends around who are been through supernatural transformations themselves, she's got a great support system. It's going to be a very conflicted season for me. Elena she's never wanted to become a vampire, and now she kind of did without having a choice. This isn't something she wanted, and it just sort of happened. So there's going to be a lot of, the whole season's going to be discovering her and how she feels about all this and how she copes with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see because, like, Stefan and Damon have always been the protectors of this innocent being, and now she's not. And, we're going to have to teach her the ways, you know. But I think a lot of it is, again, going to be about finding a way to reverse it somehow, you know. And as this show has proven time and time again, we can concoct a spell at any moment for any given storyline. We're in a bind. Bonnie. Done.
We saw Caroline and Klaus sort of having a flirtmance this season. In some ways, is Klaus and Tyler's body kind of like a best case scenario for her?
I mean, I think Caroline's gonna kind of be stoked. No, and funny enough, I feel like Caroline doesn't like Klaus. This is the first time where she's just like, no. Like, you know, she went from season 1, like, why can't the boys just like me, to finally the boy likes her. He just happens to be a mass murderer, like, evil person. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see Caroline's reaction when she finds out that she was giving a good goodbye kiss to Klaus.
Situation.
Body sharing, yeah. There's a little bit of a swap there. It happened to Alaric with Matt Davis. I feel like as an actor, it's fun because I can not try and replicate what Joseph Morgan does, but it's going to be fun. You know, hopefully, I don't know how long the run will be in season 4, but I hopefully can get at least a couple episodes in playing Klaus. And I would imagine that we'd bring Joseph Morgan back.
What he's thinking is that he might want to try.
Which accent was that? Along the lines of that, yeah. Before that happens, I'm sure we'll do the swap back before I get into the accent.
So fans shouldn't take this to mean that Tyler was in Klaus's body when he was staked and Tyler is now dead.
Well, you know, I certainly hope not, because then that would mean I'd be dead. So, yeah.
So we're gonna say no.
We're gonna say that body was burning, but we didn't see it burn to a crisp. Really, we didn't see it turn into ash. That coffin was
Let's
closed.
be honest, it's the Vampire Diaries. Anything's possible.
Well, I mean, Bonnie made a pretty bold choice in that finale.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I thought that it was overdue, and I also thought that it's a great seed to plant for what's going to happen in season 4, and I'm really excited.
Dark side?
Yeah, I'm all about exploring different sides of a character, and that characters aren't one-dimensional, and Julie Plec is always talking about the onion and different layers, and I love that she's exploring that side of the character, absolutely.
So if I became a vampire or anything else, then she's gonna need someone else. So
Are you hoping that Matt stays human throughout the run of the show?
yeah, absolutely.
I hope so too.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got to hold that, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my
hold
my
that
best
down.
friend in the show is a werewolf. All my other friends are vampires. Like, you need a human somewhere in that Mystery Machine gang.
How do you think Catherine is going to react to finding out Elena is now a vampire?
Wow, I mean, I think Catherine's gonna be pissed. Catherine, I mean, so I just like part of me is upset by the fact that she's a vampire because I kind of had the best of both worlds. I got to be both, and now I'm not a human. Like, no one on our show is human anymore.
Do you think Elena being a vampire allows them to be together in a different way now than they were before?
How do you mean?
Romantically? I mean,
I don't know. Less inhibition, wild, passionate sex, vampire sex.
Well, that's the thing, because so much of Stefan's thing with Elena was, I want to protect you, I don't want to hurt you.
Right.
Now she's a vampire. It sort of
Throw
takes
her around.
Yeah, it sort of takes away a little bit of his issues with them being together.
Right. I guess they have a compatibility at this point.
You know, Paul was saying that it's interesting because for Stefan, one of his biggest qualms with being with Elena was that she needed to be protected and he didn't want to hurt her.
Yeah.
Does it excite you that this sort of opens the door for their relationship to take on a whole new level now?
Well, yeah, I mean, now Elena, she already tried to protect herself, but now especially, she's gonna be she's gonna be able to. She's not going to depend on the boys. She's not going to depend on the vampires to keep her alive. She's a vampire herself now, so it's a whole different world.